The young, the babies, they should be diluted, although I don't dilute, okay? But I teach to dilute because you never know the sensitivity of a baby in front of you. All my grandchildren have all had neat oils on them the moment they're born, right? I'm there at their births. But I know what I'm doing, and yeah, so we have to say dilute with babies. You would also with children often, you don't know if they're sensitive or not. You would dilute. Old people, there need to be dilution and less oils. Because what we don't want to do is to put people into detox, which the oils can do. And sometimes, you'll put an oil on somebody, even topically. It is rare, but they could come up in a rash and they suddenly think they're allergic to the oils, but they're actually not. This is the body saying, oh my goodness, I've got a chance to get this out here. And it decides it's going to detox through the skin. And this, I've seen this happen, but then people need to stop taking oils topically and they take them internally. So I've had this with this Salubel oil. People start, they see and they read that Salubel Immortelle blend round the eyes really helps with eyesight, which it does. But they're using it in a roller bottle, which is neat oil. And these are very, very high vibrational oils, strong oils. And so after a while of every day going around the eye, they can develop a rash. And that is, they think they're then allergic to the oils. No, they needed to have diluted around a sensitive area of the eyes. So I thought I have a video on Essential Gifts of the Earth on Salubel and how you dilute it into 3 bottles so that you can then put it around the eye. Yeah. Sometimes you would want it neat because of the high vibration of them. But if you're putting it on around the eye, you definitely need it diluted. Right. Give me another question I haven't answered.
No, yeah, it was more actually internal use because I totally understand that obviously topically you have to be, this dilution.
Yes.
But internally, when you say lots of oils, we're talking about drops. How many in?
Okay, so in the capsules that you get with DDR Prime or On Guard capsules, there's only like 3 or 4 drops in there. Okay. Sometimes for healing, you do need stronger. So, for instance, if you're doing a flume, like you want to knock something on the head that's coming, you can feel it here. Then we teach that you can put up to 15 drops into that flume capsule. So fill it up and take that. And if the person is strong, like obviously they're coming down with something, but they're physically strong or their body is older, not old people, then you can take that to every 2 hours, 15 drops every 2 hours, and knock something on the head. But again, you would look at the frailty of the person, and a child, they wouldn't take capsules anyway. But so Boyd Truman teaches, for instance, if you want to really wake up the beast in the body and the liver and really detox the liver, you will really know you're doing something when you fill a capsule up with 3 oils like geranium and cilantro and what else on the frankincense. That's going to wake everything up and you're definitely going to go to the loo. Yeah. So it depends what people want to do. Some people really want to just move their body and get things out and moving, so they'll take more oils. Other people are sensitive and they need less oils in order to get the movement and the reaction. So again, you see how people are responding to things. Some people need more terrazyme, like they've got constipation. Well, terrazyme will move that constipation if they take the terrazyme at night. And they sometimes need to up it and then up it and then up it until they're moving those stools. So it really varies, but they are safe. The body will actually get rid of what's not needed, except for the fact that they might go into detox and have detox symptoms. Do you see? So some people with the limonene oils are fine on 1 or 2 drops. So others need to just drop up the limonene oils to a little bit more. And again, it's an intuitive thing with that. And that's what we have to teach, really. So we always start lower, but also with boys, you will see that we teach you can put more on. So he will literally just put loads on the back of somebody. And I would start, like, say something with like cancer, you wouldn't just throw loads of oils on the person and say, you would start them slowly and build up because they do need also the power of the oils going in. Does that help you there?
Yes, thank you
Anybody
very
else want to
much.
comment? Anybody else want to comment or unsure on anything? I'm fine about you questioning it. Yes. Yes. And the side effects could be detox. Yes. And of course, peppermint is one that you take less of and you look at each person because, somebody very frail, you don't need to put much peppermint on them before they're, shivering. So yeah, again, it's individual people. And I had a doctor, I think maybe I didn't tell you last time, but this doctor, he took 5 drops of oregano to get rid of um a sore throat, and he said it was amazing. But how many of us can take 5 drops of oregano? 1 drop will do it. But he wanted to knock it on the head, and for him, it was 5 drops
Mm.
under the tongue. Yeah, that's powerful. But he's also used to what do you call it? Hot and spicy oils because he's Indian. So yeah.
I'm just blown away by your experience and your knowledge, Becky, always. I mean, every
Well,
time
it's
I hear
just
you speak, it's
well,
amazing
it's just
because
because I've been doing it so long,
I
and
know,
I
but honestly, I think that you were right up there with Dr. Hill
oh,
no,
I
really.
don't
I feel like your experience and your knowledge of how to use the oils and just
oh,
how you've used them and you've learned all this, honestly, what you know in your head is just
well, thank you
always
for your
blows me
trust.
away. Oh, I love
Thank
it.
you for your trust. But I'm
And
still
you're
learning
giving
all the
Dr. Hill a
time.
run for your money, his money.
I completely
Oh,
agree with you, Liz. I just dropped in the chat the doTERRA line by line, because sometimes people
yes,
want an exact number and you want to stay safe. So
yes,
I didn't want anyone to think I
good.
dropped that because I wasn't agreeing with what Becky was saying. I was just like, if you need the
Yes,
safety line, here's the safety
it's really
line.
good. And I like that. I like you to come in because I can go off on being so non-compliant. Sometimes I need to be brought back in. And yes, actually, this is what's being taught.
No, it wasn't from that. It's from I know people ask and then they're like, yes, but how many drops? But how many?
Yes,
And sometimes they
yes,
just need that. So I've just dropped that in case it's
yes.
helpful
No,
to
no,
anyone.
I wonderful. And look at that. No more than 20 drops of essential oil should be used internally within 24 hours. Yeah. And
That's
as they
doTERRA's
and that's
line,
a
yeah.
brilliant start, isn't it? That's they have to err on the side of the weakest.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do. But just so I mean, Boy Truman, he just every oil is taken internally, even arbor vitae. But we can't go around teaching that because people are not sensible at times. I mean, at the Aroma Touch, I taught Lucy and the others that were there because I felt okay about the group that I was with. I take wintergreen internally, but you can't teach that. But
No.
I would rather take a drop of wintergreen or two internally than aspirin, and it's the same. Well, it's actually more it's better than aspirin. But we can't teach that because it has a childproof lid on it, and we would be in big trouble if we taught that. So there are lots more that you can know for yourself, and in groups where you know it can be trusted to teach those things. But we have to, as you say, err on the side of caution. Does that help, Joanna? Because yeah, internally sometimes is easier. So my mum, before she died, started getting more reactions topically with the oils. And that was like, oh, like rashes and things when she put them on topically. But that was because the body was so desperate in trying to get the chemicals out of her body that they'd been giving her, for years. She was on ibuprofen for so long with pain. This is the body desperate to get them out. So I said, Mum, no more no more topically. Just take them internally and small amounts. And she could also have them on her feet. So sometimes, they are more sensitive and they will go into detox mode very quick because the oils will do that. So any more questions? It's fine if you want it in anything else on that. Internal is the most exciting thing, isn't it, really? So with the doTERRA oils, so and the aspect of emotional, they're very, very healing on an emotional level. I am actually going to post a video on yarrow pom. Because as you can see, I'm posting now all the education videos. It flashed into my head. They're all there, but people can't find them, Becky. So literally put them so they can find them from the group. But then I'm going through and I'm finding, because there's an essential oils in the bedroom. I can't find it on the group. And I thought, well, if I can't find it, others can't find that one. So I'm trying to re-find that and put it on the group. So there is one on yarrow pom that I'm going to post that I taught in Skinny Jeans Challenge, that actually goes in and you only need a drop a day and it starts to just bring out the emotions for people. It kind of leaves no stone unturned at getting stuff out, but you have to support it because it will just release. So that's also one for you all to really learn about yarrow pom, because of how it just goes in and does it without all that counseling and coaching for years that some people have to go through. It seems to just do it. Yeah. So is that okay, Joanna? Anything else on internal use?
No, that's brilliant. I saw also from my point of view, so it's obviously my clients, which is more sensitive, but from my point of view, sometimes I'm taking, like, if I'm doing a parasite cleanse or something, I'm taking probably about, with a couple of drops of oil in a capsule, and then I'm taking the VMG, and then I'm taking the, limonene, like my water, and, it's kind of building up all day, 10 drops a day, something like that. I don't know how much is in the VMG, but, and I'm just thinking, and that's on a long term, on a kind of like a long term basis.
No, that's absolutely fine.
Not a problem.
You're absolutely
okay.
Yeah, no problem at all. Just remember, it's nature. These are plants. Yes, they are concentrated, but they are plants, and it's working with our body. It's nature with nature. And so sometimes things are needed to be stronger, like with killing parasites. Yes, the more oils that you go in there and just like get, out,
Yeah.
But also sometimes it's also powerful to have less more consistently. So
More consistently. Yeah. That's what I'm kind of realizing as well. So, like, I'm taking the frankincense capsules, I'm taking the cobaiba under my tongue, like frankincense in my cacao. So it ends up becoming quite a few drops during the day. Do you know what I mean? They build up. So I just want to be 100% sure that that's absolutely fine as well. From you do it and everybody does it.
Absolutely fine. It is absolutely fine, and it's only you can know with yourself.
Yeah, I feel great. I mean, I feel absolutely awesome. Yeah,
it's fine. It's absolutely fantastic, actually. Yeah,
that's what I thought intuitively, but I just wanted to check, obviously, with your experience and everybody else's.
Yeah, no, it's really, really safe. And, people that have cancer, they have literally got to build up to the high doses, but then, this is not chemotherapy. This is oils. This is nature. And so, yes, you've got to flood the body with light. to get the darkness out, which is the cancer. So they have to just, and they've got to be consistent with the doses, but also with the food. And this is also so important too. It's not enough to just take the oils. They've got to look at what they're eating, and with the nutrition, and then of course with digestive enzymes. So I am going to be talking on the enzymes, because that's also, hopefully all of you get the power of the terrazyme, because this is foundational wellness. So I always teach that the nutrition and the digestive enzymes, because the enzymes will go round and they will eat up the scar tissue. Gemma, would you like to share? I know you're going to do it on, but some can't be there, and Joanna's not there. Could you share that with them, your story with the enzymes?
Yeah. So I'm always taking terrazyme, but I started to take it, I think, really getting involved with the oils when Becky did her last skinny jeans. So yarrow pom is also my favorite thing as well, like you were saying. Made big emotional differences for me. But the terrazyme, I was taking it for that, and I was doing it as you were guiding. For me, it was 3 when I woke up, 2 with every meal, and then 3 before I went to sleep, to help with the skinny jeans program. But separately, since the age of 12, I've had terrible periods. It's one of the reasons I'm self-employed, so I can manage my time, and to the point where I was fainting as a child. I was out of school all the time, and pain that I just can't describe. So, and the doctors at the end, after tests and everything, and EBSCO, all the different things, all the different tests, they basically said it's endometriosis, and to sort of just let that play out. And I'm not someone who takes painkillers or anything, so I've just had to be fair, the least I take painkillers, the more I can control it. It's almost like I can self-manage without them, if that makes sense. Anyway, I was on terrazyme for skinny jeans, and then I started to realise that my periods were getting an awful lot better. Didn't put 2 and 2 together, because my focus was on the skinny jeans for that one. And I think I attended one of Becky's talks where she said, also, if you're having it on an empty stomach, it goes into the body and it finds tissue that needs to be like scar tissue that needs healing. And I was like, that's what's happening. And I have not, my health in multiple different ways has got better from that. And what is lovely, the extra little bit that, again, probably one of Becky's talks I learned about, is it stores it in the body for when, in case, for extra until it's needed. So there's been quite a few times where I've run out of it, or it hasn't come with me and I've been away for the night, something like that, and I don't have those giant dips because my body's stored it. So it's nice to know you don't have to sort of, oh gosh, panic. I know tonight I'm not going to feel great. So yeah, massive difference, and I wouldn't be without it now for that reason.
Yeah. Thank you, Gemma. And there's loads of stories like that. People don't actually realise, they just take it with their food. And of course, if they do that, it will store some of them to use on an empty stomach. But what happens is it robs Peter to pay Paul. If there aren't enough digestive enzymes there, they will rob the enzymes from the metabolic enzymes in order to help with digestion. And so that's why the terrazyme is so powerful at taking on an empty stomach and with food. And of course, it helps your body absorb the BMG powder, the LLV. It helps the body to absorb those and break them down even more, which probably doesn't need that which is what this is probably going to explain the bioavailability. But so the 2 of those things, and then the citrus oils in our water, because that again is creating the glutathione from the limonene, which is also very important at getting the toxins out of the body. So before we finish, yes.
Sorry, quick question on that. So people, obviously, the BMG and the terrazymes, and then all of the oils are, it's expensive from the standard level of expense, especially in Crete. So, for example, the VMG, I recommend that people get the VMG first, and then when they can expand, they get the first get the kit, then they BNG, and then when they can expand, they get the terrazymes. But actually, maybe the terrazymes, depending on the need, might be more beneficial. Because I think from what I understood from Dr. Hill is that if you don't have the nutrients, then the terrazyme, the enzyme reactions, the chain reactions are not going to be functioning anyway very well. Do you know what I mean? So would you recommend in certain situations the terrazymes first, for example, with cancer?
Sometimes if there's really, really bad, but again, it's kind of like they need both. What I would probably do is say, hey, take half a dose a day of the BMG and, like the smaller doses of the terrazyme until they can afford to do the full.
Right.
That's what I would probably work with, so that at least they've got some nutrition. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
And sometimes, maybe increase. They don't need, they may not.
Yeah, I was just about to say the people I'm working with, some of their got their diet is actually quite good. So maybe the terrazymes is so yeah, depending on their diet, just everybody has olive oil as their main supply of oil and fish. So there, okay. Thank you. I know it depends on every case.
You're welcome. So what I wanted to,